How did we get here? This planet used to be full of life. There were people everywhere, cars on the road, birds in the sky, planes above it all. Then something happened. Everyone vanished. Just like that, poof, they were gone. No war, no signs, no nothing. Just an empty playground with a half-eaten apple on the swing set and a pair of roller skates abandoned at the top of the slide. I'm Nathan Crow, and I'm pretty sure I'm the last known human alive. At least that's what my dog tags say. I've been surviving on my own for 427 days now. That's 1 year, 3 months, and 29 days to be exact. I know this because every day I write the date on the wall of my shelter. It is one of the few things keeping me sane, along with the photo of my wife and kids. I'm staying alive by growing food, collecting water, and living inside a research vault located deep in the Canadian wilderness. The entrance is buried under 20 feet of dirt and rock, camouflaged so well that it looks just like the surrounding forest. Inside is climate-controlled, self-sustaining, and stocked with enough supplies to last decades. But what really piqued my interest was the cryogenic lab with its rows upon rows of frozen humans. They're the reason why I haven't given up hope. I don't know what caused the extinction of humanity. Maybe it was a virus or nuclear attack. Doesn't matter anymore. All I know is that I woke up one morning to an eerily silent world. My wife was gone, my kids were gone. Everyone was gone. I searched for them for weeks, but no matter where I went, there was no sign of life. No animals, no people, not even insects flying around. It was like everyone had been sucked into a gigantic vacuum cleaner. I survived by raiding grocery stores and gas stations. Then I found the research vault. When I first arrived, it looked like this, totally destroyed, but after a few hours of work, I managed to get it operational. Now I live inside one of these tubes. I can grow food, collect rainwater, and filter it using the vault's reverse osmosis system. I exercise, eat, and sleep here. It's my home. The food I grow in here doesn't taste good. Like food grown on soil does, but it keeps me alive. So that's all that matters. My garden consists of leafy greens, carrots, tomatoes, onions, potatoes, parsnips, and corn. I also have a stockpile of freeze-dried meals that I eat when I get tired of eating garden vegetables every day. I'm no scientist, but I learned how to operate the vault's hydroponic garden from its computer controls. I collect rainwater and channel it into the garden using the greenhouse's drip irrigation system. I use a solar-powered cart to haul my food, water, and other supplies between the greenhouses. It has wheels that make it easy to move on hard surfaces, but I also take off the wheels when I need to cross streams and rivers. At night, I curl up in my bed and listen to the sounds of the forest. It's not unusual for me to hear owls, crickets, bullfrogs, and coyotes. But lately I've been hearing something else, a sound that I never thought I'd hear again: voices. Survivor Camp, Northern Grid. Come in, help me, Doc, please, help me. The first time I heard the voices, I thought I was going crazy. I laid in bed listening intently, hoping to catch another glimpse. But it was just the wind. By the next day, the voices were back. So I decided to pack up and leave. I didn't know where I was going, but I had to get out of the camp. I grabbed my backpack, filled it with food and water, slung it over my shoulder, and walked away. I didn't look back. I wasn't turning back. I didn't know if I'd ever see my wife and kids again. But I knew one thing: I wasn't giving up hope. Maybe, just maybe, I'll find someone else out here. I followed the faint voices through the trees, over rocks, and across rivers. I didn't see anyone, but I felt like I was being watched. like there was someone out there watching me. Every time I stopped to rest, I would hear, come in, help me. As soon as I started moving again, they'd fall silent. By the third day, my body was aching. My shoulders were sore from carrying the backpack. My legs felt heavy like lead. I hadn't slept well, barely eating or drinking. I needed a break. But when I sat down, the voices started. Help me, please, and I wanted to help whoever was out there, but I couldn't. I needed help myself. That's when I saw it, a glimmer of light between the trees. As I got closer, I could see that it was a fire. Someone was out here, someone alive. I ran to the fire and called out, "Hello, is anyone there?" A man emerged from behind a large rock. He looked at me and said, "You're Rio." "You're Rio," I replied. We stared at each other for a long moment. I couldn't speak. I couldn't move. All I could do was stare into his eyes and think, he's alive. We both started laughing and fell to our knees. I reached out and touched his arm. It was warm, soft, Rio. He wasn't a hallucination. He wasn't a dream. He was Rio. He introduced himself as Ben and told me about his camp. He said that he had more supplies than he could carry, food that wouldn't spoil, clean water and medicines. He also said that he had books and games and asked if I would like to stay with him. Of course, I said yes. Ben showed me how to build a lean-to using fallen branches and leaves. He taught me how to start a fire without matches or lighter fluid. He shared his food and told me stories about his life before the world ended. For the first time in almost a year, I felt like I was part of something bigger than myself. I felt like I belonged. But after a few days, I started to feel sick. I had a fever, a cough, and weakness all over my body. I told Ben that I didn't want to be a burden and planned to leave. He insisted that I stay, promising to take care of me until I got better. For a week, Ben took care of me, bringing me food and water and making sure that I rested. We worked together like brothers. We trusted each other. We relied on each other. One day, while we were sitting around the fire, Ben asked me why I was really at the camp. I hesitated, not knowing how to tell him the truth. I was afraid that he would think I was crazy. But I knew that I had to tell him sooner or later. So I took a deep breath and said, I came here because I heard voices. I thought that there might be other survivors out here. I never expected to find a friend. Ben nodded understandingly. Me neither. I heard voices too. That's why I came to this camp. Was hoping I wasn't the only one left. We sat in silence for a moment, each lost in thought. Then we agreed we needed to rebuild. We needed to try. We spent the next few days gathering supplies and preparing for the journey. We packed food, water, medicine, and other essentials into backpacks and tied them to the back of our dog. We named her Hope. She was a German shepherd who had been abandoned in one of the cryogenic labs. We couldn't bring ourselves to leave her behind. As we made our way through the forest, I couldn't help but feel like we were pioneers, like we were the first humans in a new world. We didn't know what lay ahead, but we were ready to face it. When we arrived at the vault, we were greeted by the sight of tall trees and lush vegetation. The air was filled with the sounds of birds and insects. We entered the vault and found everything still in place. Food, water, medicine, tools, seeds, solar panels, even books and games. Enough to rebuild. Then we heard the voices again. Help me, please. Come in. Help me, please. We followed the sound through a tunnel until we emerged into the open. And then we saw them. People, real people, survivors. They looked worn down, but alive. We called out, "Hello?" They responded, "Hello." We talked, shared stories. Their names were John, Michael, Jessica, and others. They were just like us, searching, surviving. We agreed to work together, to build something new, a place of hope. We created laws, grew food, started schools, built homes. Over time, we became more than survivors. We became a community. And one day, I watched children laughing and playing, and I realized maybe the world had ended. But maybe, just maybe, we were beginning again.